I really wish that I was comfortable showing my face like this on here, just because I feel like this kind of video might need that. Kind of that like other sense of vulnerability, but I do not have I don't have the guts, you know? I'm sorry. And I look good too. I look nice. And you're not even gonna see this because I'm either gonna cut this out or cover my face. It's just how it's gonna be, unfortunately, for me. I'll get more into that later. I don't know that there's a lot of people in my comment section that think I look stupid wearing a mask like this. I also think I look stupid, but I think what would be stupid is showing my face on the internet. Hey gang! So this video is gonna be a little bit different comparison to my other videos. It's a little less scripted and a little bit more all over the place, but it is still kind of scripted. I want to give a huge thank you for all of the love on my recent video. I was actually really anxious to upload it, and it took a bit of vulnerability, something that I'm not really that good at, but I'm also about to do now, so you know, I'm getting better, I guess. I was worried that it would be a little bit too surface level, but I'm very happy that it helped a lot of you guys, and it was definitely worth it. It's been my best performing video, and I'm not used to gaining so many subscribers at once. I'm also not used to my like to dislike ratio being so positive. I also noticed a lot of you guys went back to watch my first video, which was allies in the LGBTQ plus community. I actually hadn't gone back and watched it because I'm kind of embarrassed because I was like, you know, I was only 17. I made that video when I was in the hospital. You know, I've learned a lot and I've done things a bit differently since then. And I was also a little nervous seeing that there were many people like going back and watching it, and I was like, oh crap. Like I haven't even gone back to watch it. But it holds up. Like it's not that bad of a video. There's just some parts of it that are a little cringy for me because again, it was 2 years ago and I was 17, and you know how it is. Well, some of you don't know how it is because you're still 17, but like think of yourself when you were like 15. You know, I cringe even more when I think of myself at 15. And I'll cringe looking back at this video. It's just how it happens. Why is it the second I decide to make a video, the children outside decide to be as loud as they can possibly be? It's fine. It's actually a nice breeze. I actually kind of like this video setup here. I think I might leave it at this. This might be my permanent setup for now. Like I haven't really decided on a setup, but I kind of like this one. Anyway, what were we saying? Okay. I was also happy that the video, The Curse of Creativity, is getting a little bit more views. That's probably one of my favorite videos I've made. And I realized that I'm wearing the same sweater as I was wearing in that video. Is it because I wanted to make a callback, or is it because I wear this sweater literally all of the time? Me dressing up for my videos is rare, okay? Normally I'm in the same Mitski sweater. Anyway, that's... And I also kind of hadn't gone back to watch it yet because I was embarrassed. And also my hair looks terrible. Why did I pick that? Anyway, yes, embarrassed is my default emotion. I hit 1,000 subscribers, which is like absolutely insane. I'm like genuinely like really happy and also scared. My goal was 500 and you guys like doubled it in no time, and just like that is insane. When it started happening, I was like panicking and like texting my friends like, hey, what if I like panicked and deleted my channel? I wish I was kidding. I was genuinely considering deleting that video the second it was getting popular because I was like, no, it's not perfect yet. It's not perfect. People shouldn't be seeing it yet. It's like not perfect enough for people to be seeing it. But I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate literally all of the kind comments I've been getting. I'm like not used to that at all. Like my videos are not usually well received. And I also appreciate a lot of the criticism and like genuine critique or like additions that you guys have. I'm not used to genuine critique. It's mostly just people telling me I'm stupid and that I ruined their day and that I should go get a life. You first. I'm really grateful that that video helped a lot of you guys. And even if there's stuff that I missed, nothing is gonna be perfect, and I have to accept that. It's not gonna be perfect. I'm gonna miss stuff. I'm a human being. Those are some affirmations for myself. Sorry, as much as I like the hoodie, it's kind of warm in here. Anyway, when people pointed out stuff that I missed, I was like, my dear goodness, this video sucks. This video is so surface level. I missed so much stuff. I need to delete it. I need to restart. I need to make a new video. I'm sensing a theme here. This video obviously is going to be a bit of a scramble of a lot of stuff that's been on my mind, and it'll be kind of seemingly nonsensical, but it's not really worth making a whole video about some of this stuff individually. Some of them are just random and funny, and then we're going to kind of get more serious at the end, which I tend to get more serious for some reason. It's like all of my videos. Funny here and there, randomly more serious, but I'm just gonna kind of cram it together. I'm sure there's some stuff at the, like, towards the end that I could have made into a separate video, but, I'm not going to. My last video was a pretty interesting experience. It's weird that a video I made in my bedroom on a random day in June has over 12,000 views on it. And not only that, people are subscribing and people want to see more of my videos. My video meant a lot to many people and helped people, and that makes me really happy. I know that it doesn't seem like it's making me happy because I'm not good at, like, adding proper inflection. I keep doing the laugh thing that I do at the end of things. That's not intentional. I really tried to hold it back in my last video where I like stopped myself from doing it, the like fake laugh thing that I do, because it annoys the crap out of me and it probably annoys the crap out of everyone else. It's just like a knee-jerk reaction every time I talk, so I'm sorry. I spent 2 hours recording it and then realized the angle and the lighting were really bad, which is a recurring habit of mine, and I just like didn't want it to happen again, especially because of how important that video is to me and like what we were talking about. I just wanted to be more careful. I just wanted it to be perfect. I almost like completely gave up and scrapped that video, or almost gave up and used the original recording, but I also kind of needed to revise the script a little bit, and I found a spot in front of my window and re-recorded it. Obviously I'm very happy that I ended up re-recording it, and I'm happy I didn't just scrap the video altogether. I already talked enough about my last video. Just get over it already, am I right? This is gonna just so random. Recently, I bought a Fitbit. Cool. Ooh. It's been a very interesting experience. I got it mostly to track my sleep and my heart rate. I struggle with a fairly irregular heart rate. It kind of happened after I got COVID, but now when I feel it like drop or rise, I can do a quick double check to make sure that that's actually what's happening. Here are my heart rate metrics for Sunday. If you look at noon, you might see a theme here. The theme being that there is no theme. It's so inconsistent that I got high heart rate notifications every time I like stood up. Wow, Celeste, what were you doing midday? My retail job. I'm a cashier. Obviously, I don't know what else I would be doing. I'm a cashier, but sometimes I help out by watching customers pick stuff up while I awkwardly try to help them by waving my arms a little bit. And yeah, I have to crouch and stand back up, and my heart is not a big fan of me doing that. Sometimes for fun, my heart likes to randomly drop 30 beats per minute while I'm standing around, and then I can see the light, but now I know what's actually happening instead of thinking I'm about to drop dead. I also got it to track my sleep. I like that it disses me if I don't get good enough sleep. My friend said that I should make it a challenge to get good sleep so I can really stick it to them when I do, which I did. Also, what's Fitbit Premium? You're telling me that there are certain features that I can't even access without paying $150 a year for? I already gave you $130 for the damn thing. You can't even let me use it to the full potential without paying more money? I got some for free, but if I want to properly see my sleep score, I have to pay $12 a month? Don't worry, I got a free 6 months, thanks Fitbit. Do you know what I need? I need to be able to use it for the thing that I bought it for. That should have been free with the Fitbit, or at least included with the purchase. You do not need $150 of my hard-earned money, Google. It would be really nice if I had some of those mindfulness videos and my stress score so that I can alleviate some of the stress that you are causing me. How is this not theft? I bought the damn thing. Give me what I rightfully deserve. This is If I want to keep seeing my sleep score, I have to keep paying forever, or until I save some money for an Apple Watch, which I didn't want to buy since I didn't want to pay $500 for an extra phone on my wrist, and I spend a lot of time making fun of people who pay with it. But you know something about that $500? It will stay $500 for the rest of time. I got the Fitbit Inspire 3 just because I wanted some of the basic stuff. I didn't need it to play music, respond to text, or Apple Pay, or whatever this means. I just wanted to track my heart rate and my sleep, and maybe count my steps. Leave it to multi-billion-dollar companies to beg for more money by withholding features that you thought you already bought. I'm sure there was fine print I could have read, but that fine print shouldn't even exist. God, I should get all of the features I want with the thing that I paid for. Could you imagine buying a phone? You're so excited, you just upgraded from your Barbie BlackBerry. You wanted to start making videos since you weren't able to before. And you finally open it up, the day has come, and it says, subscribe to iPhone Premium for $150 a year to access features such as the video camera, a contact list, and the clock app. Yes, this is the exact same thing. Someday and soon, I'm gonna get pop-up ads on this thing. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's talk about another thing that makes me mad. I'm Canadian, and I think people have probably assumed that by this point. No, I'm not from Toronto or Vancouver like every other popular Canadian seems to be. I'm from northern Alberta. Alberta's my home, but both my parents grew up in BC. Am I annoyed that my family moved to Alberta the year I was born and I grew up here instead of here? A little. It's funny seeing TikToks of people saying, just go to Canada, it's beautiful. And then it's just like photos of Banff or the Yukon. Both are beautiful places. When I say I'm from Alberta, people are like, oh, I'd love to visit Alberta, it's so beautiful. Yes, the itty bitty sliver. Who am I kidding? Northern Alberta is also so pretty. The sun never goes down in the summer and the temperature never goes up for the other 8 months of the year. Now what does this have to do with hockey? Hockey is huge here, and I'm sure it's huge everywhere, but I think it's especially super huge here because we have the Oilers and Wayne Gretzky. And I remember the Stanley Cup final. It was, I think, last week as of me filming this video. I'm also filming this on Canada Day. I'm sure I'll hear the happy explosives soon. I work right beside a sports bar, and I also work at a hardware store. If you made a Venn diagram of hockey fans and hardware store shoppers, it would be a circle. So it was a very interesting night. We had announcements through our radio talking about the score. Any customers we did have were also talking about the score. I had to do the old quickly Google so I know what to say when customers bring it up and pretend to care. My coworkers were really excited, and we had the game on in the break room. We also had pizza, but I didn't eat it because it would hurt really bad. I was kind of bummed that they didn't win just because a lot of my coworkers were really excited about it, and it would have been cool. My brother is also a big hockey fan, and same with my dad, so I was kind of sad that they were sad. This was made worse by seeing all of the sad people in Oilers jerseys leaving the sports bar when previously they were shouting and cheering, "We want the cup!" Misplaced empathy, I guess. The light is gonna change because the sun is setting. It is also 10 p.m., so as a very cool and very good figure skater, I'm not anti-hockey by any means. This isn't a TikTok smut book. I just get kind of annoyed by hockey skaters during public skate sessions. They have the absolute worst rink etiquette on the planet. I'd be skating forward and some guy in hockey skates would just randomly cut me off at the speed of light. Or cut right behind me. It's not me, okay? I tend to be hyper careful while skating because I don't want to be run over by a toddler who's better at skating than me. Or, run into them, but most of the time they run into me. Like a toddler ran into me, like this kid, probably not a toddler, they're probably like 5 or 6. I was skating like this, and this kid was skating here, so I was like, okay, this is fine. Like, I'll just keep skating forward. And then the kid went like this. Why? Like, quick, too. Like, it wasn't just like a slow thing, because if it was a slow thing, I would have moved. I felt so bad. The kid didn't fall over or anything, but I almost did. All of the figure skaters I know are, very respectful and understand the concept of personal skating space, not skating right up to people and giving them a bubble of space. And I think it's also kind of for our own sake. We can't really set up an element when we're right beside another skater. We're jumping and spinning in the air with knives on our shoes. If we were right beside a skater doing the same thing, it would end very poorly. I'm not mad at the kids smiling brightly as they skate super fast in their little hockey skates. Sure, I prefer watching the little figure skaters doing things my 19-year-old 5'11 self could probably never do in her entire lifetime. Skating is skating, and I would be a terrible person if I were mad at children. I'm mostly mad at the adults. I'm mad at the 40-year-old men barreling around the ice, cutting me off while I'm skating backwards and nearly knocking me over. I would obviously move out of their way, but that doesn't mean the second I move out of the way, they should zip right into my way. I'm not kidding. I've been practicing back crossovers on the circle, and I've had like 40-year-old men go like this. And I skate like in the middle of the day. There's no one else there. Anyways, teach your kids rink etiquette, teach yourself rink etiquette, realize you're not the only person on the ice. If someone is skating backwards or spinning in a small corner of the rink to avoid running into people, that is not your opportunity to skate directly at them with the speed of sound. Thanks. Switching gears to talking about something that isn't as silly as a dumb Fitbit subscription or getting hit by middle-aged hockey skaters, let's talk about my job. And this is going to get a little bit more serious. There's something slightly dystopian about working a retail job. You know when you're playing Animal Crossing and there's a special character visiting the plaza and they just kind of stand there and wait for you to interact with them? That's how I feel at my job, to the point where I make jokes about it with my coworkers and then we do the like NPC stand. I just stand there for hours. Sometimes I help people sleep or talk with my coworkers, but mostly I just like pace around, repeatedly checking my watch, probably partially hoping my heart rate isn't gonna randomly drop again. I don't even really have the mental energy to like enjoy my breaks. I like talking and chatting with my coworkers, but they're not my friends. They're my friends at work. And I don't ever really feel like anybody likes me. I'm getting really drained and tired. Like I don't really want to do much of anything anymore. Any of the energy that I do have, I have to use it for work. And if I don't use that energy, then I will end up getting a lower cashier friendliness score. If you don't know, those surveys at the bottom of the receipt that you just throw out, those surveys results are everything to the employees working there. They mean everything to the superiors, which in turn means everything to the cashiers because they don't want the superiors to get upset with them. In my opinion, I feel like people only really fill out those surveys if they have something to complain about, or if something like really good happened. I don't think anyone's purposely mentioned me by name negatively on those surveys. Do I get weirded out when people address me by my name and then I realize that my name is on my uniform? I don't like random people knowing my name, it's weird. I don't know your name. If someone does say something negatively about me on one of the surveys, they probably would tell me. We also have like a big bulletin board full of printed out reviews with the names highlighted. I've been on that board. All my work friends have been on that board. It is nice to see yourself there because it's just that little bit of like push, that small piece of motivation. It's all you have. This is my second year working at the place I work and my fourth year working in retail. And I'm just so tired all the time. I get paid a decent amount, my work hours are flexible, and they're understanding of my disability, but I'm just so unfulfilled. And I'm so empty. I don't know if anyone could ever feel fulfilled, especially if you're working at this job, but it's really weighing me down. I understand that I'm just complaining about something that everybody has to deal with, but, you know, I just still want to kind of talk about it because everyone deals with this, right? And then we can kind of have a conversation about like how we're feeling. And it's not like I can just stop. I stand at my little spot on the floor that I'm forbidden to move away from, and I just think this is it. This can't be it. The only people I talk to are friends who aren't really my friends. I count the money on the till and it's more than my entire paycheck just sitting there. I check out a customer who buys something more than what I get paid in an hour, and I think this item that this customer just bought is worth more than an hour of my entire life. I'm supposed to be devoted and love this company and my job, to be kind and understanding to every customer, and to sit and take it when they yell at me or else I might lose my job. Or say something when a male customer is standing overly close to you, or just chuckle when he proceeds to say the most unhinged and inappropriate things to you. Half the customers don't care to listen to you and ask you to call another associate who just repeats the same thing you said. But the customer listens because your coworker is a man and knows more about tools or navigating the store than you do. Stick to smiling and greeting customers, you stupid woman. I feel like my soul is being slowly sucked out of me, and I know that's really dramatic to say when I talk about being a retail cashier. Oh, just scan the thing and tell them the money they need to pay, have them pay for it, and send them on their way. Oh, you have to do that hundreds of times for hours? And sometimes they don't like the price that comes up. Their card declines or the machine freezes or breaks. And every single little slip up you have makes the customer think you have a personal vendetta against them. And they take the receipt out of your hand with a little too much force, and as soon as they storm out, all you can think is, I hope they don't fill out the survey. I have very understanding superiors, and I'm really glad that I do. No matter how hard you try, some customers are just gonna hate you. They call you the C word, they call you a bitch, tell you you're useless and shouldn't work here, and you can't say anything. You sit there and take it. If a customer says something weird to you, makes oddly sexual remarks towards you, or touches you in a weird way, you can't do anything about it. Other than complain about it to your coworkers, obviously. And the good outweighs the bad, but that doesn't mean the bad doesn't affect me. Saying you just have to deal with it, it's just part of the job, is just repeating the obvious. I just get numb to everything, and I feel like a wrung out cloth kicked around on the ground by the end of the day. And then I have to do it again. And again. And again. When you get your silly paycheck, it's way less than you think you're worth, and your only consolation is, well, I can get that Denji figure I wanted. I can get that Fitbit or that new pair of skates and pay for my lessons in the fall. I can save for my iPad or a nice camera. A lot of my viewers are older than me, and I know you know how I feel. I just wanted to get it off my chest a bit, as I feel kind of numb and hopeless right now.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
I think a lot of it is burnout from having to be a very specific version of myself all the time. School has been a very interesting experience for me. I'm trying to keep certain details private since they are kind of personal. I had to drop out of school in grade 11 due to health reasons, and I wasn't able to take on a full semester in grade 12, and I didn't really have a full high school experience I felt like I was supposed to. High school where I live is grade 10 to 12, and I think it's like 9 to 12 in the US. At least it is in movies anyway. I have to do 2 more years of school before I can even get my diploma, and then another semester before I have the courses that I need in order to apply to university. I don't even know if I'm gonna get the grades I need. The last one that I finished was Social 30-1, so everything is all done there, I hope. I don't ever have to look at another political cartoon or stare at the list of white male names I have to memorize ever again. That's definitely not true. I also have a math disability, so I haven't even really fully finished Math 10, but I'm hoping I'll get it done. Pray for me, please. School just isn't accessible for a lot of people with learning disabilities, or even just any neurodivergence. I was going over my social test one time with my teacher, and she said, you're focusing too much on the small details of the question. Just kind of look at it objectively in the overall question. I'm like, I wonder why I might get stuck focusing on the small details. My reading comprehension on test questions is also horrible. Why can't social test questions ever be normal? You're not testing me on my ability to even understand what you're asking me to answer. Just ask, which guy said mankind should be allowed to do as they wished? Instead of if fiscal policy were to economic monopoly, which senator would War Measures Act dictate? I made that up, obviously, but that kind of feels that's kind of what it feels like sometimes. I go to an alternative school, so things aren't too bad. I'm just going to the same one next year since I'm not 20 yet. I just really want to be done and move on so I can live my life and live a job that I hate until I wither away, since retirement seems further and further away and it's not an option in this economy. I just want to work as an art teacher and live in a cozy apartment with a cat. That's all I want. Maybe a QPP too. I don't know. The lighting's kind of changed just because it's getting dark out, and I also had to block it because people are setting off explosives to celebrate Confederation. We're gonna keep going where I was, which was quite serious. I need to... Every time, it's hot. Maybe take that muzzle off. Ugh, take that diaper off your face. Ugh. I can handle wearing a mask. I used to do gym class. 3 hour long gym class with a mask. Okay? I can handle anything. I'm 19. I know, I am very young. My life isn't really gonna change much come January once I'm 20, but it feels really weird. Like, I don't feel like I did anything right. I just wasn't the right kind of teenager. And once I finally felt more comfortable, I turned 19, and I'm barely comfortable. There's a lot of like typically teenage things to do that I just didn't really want to do or didn't have the willpower to do. I don't have crushes, but I've dated and I just didn't like it. And having a teenage love story is so stereotypical. I went to a football game, it was loud. I was in theater, but I always felt like nobody liked me while I was there, which is kind of the opposite of that like drama-y feeling they like to put out. I was still playing with toys at 14, and when I was 15, COVID-19 shut everything down. My first day of high school was spent with masks and regulations. I didn't even know what my first boyfriend looked like without his mask on until we started FaceTiming every day. I had other friends, but they were conditional friends. I had my two best friends, but they had their own issues too. Birds of a feather, I guess. I didn't understand why nobody seemed to like me or why people seemed to just be lying to each other all the time, and why I decided to join them. And there was good stuff too, of course. I think back to my 13th birthday or when I turned 8 and thought, wow, I'm gonna be 18 in only 10 years.
Honey, you've got a big story.
My dreams of being valedictorian, figure skating, fashion school, and being a Minecraft YouTuber were full steam ahead. 10-year-old me writing a letter to my 20-year-old self, which obviously I haven't read yet, and I don't even know if I still have it. But looking back at those dreams that I had, I'm just so sad. I know things don't live up to your expectations, but for some reason, since it hasn't, I feel kind of like a failure. It's such a small piece of my life, and looking back at this video, I'll laugh. And I'm happy I'm still here, obviously. I almost wasn't. I am also happy that one day I'll look back at this video and laugh. It shows that there's hopefully something there eventually. I have a bucket list of things I want to do this summer as my teenage years send off. I'm hoping I'll be able to do everything on it, and I'm planning on making a video about it since that's the only thing I know how to do, apparently. If I don't do everything on it, I'll just change my title from Last Summer as a Teenager to First Summer of My 20s. It'll feel the exact same either way. I'm hoping I'm making just like a little bit of sense, and there are a few people here that might relate to how I'm feeling. I just love when I hear explosions in the middle of the night. I know that the things I'm saying are just so surface level and things that everyone feels, and I'm sure everyone is just like rolling their eyes at me. I'm not special for saying those things, and I'm not saying I am. I'm not trying to be special or real or hashtag relatable. I'm just trying to articulate something in a more sit down and chat video style. I really haven't been able to think about much else. And I have another video I'm gonna record soon, but I kind of wanted to film this first. YouTube is for fun, and I think I'll only ever see this as a hobby. I want to go into teaching and maybe some design in my free time along with skating and YouTube. Since I have more of a following now, I feel obligated to make content around what I got popular for. My videos about feminism and queer culture are the ones that get views, and I feel like those are the only videos I can make now, or else I'll lose this minuscule bit of notoriety I have. I'm trying to nip that in the bud. If I make content based only on what YouTube wants me to make, I think I'd crash and burn. I have pages and pages of video ideas, and only a few of them fit in that box that I'm currently in. I've made videos on topics I just simply wanted to make, and they've done terribly in comparison to my other videos, but I had fun making them. My video about the original Frankenstein film was a blast to make and edit, and that's what I want. That's what I want to chase. I want to chase the fun, the joy I get from making content instead of the dopamine hits I get from watching the numbers go up. Making my longer, more opinionated videos, like my video about Dylan Mulvaney's song or Lily Kate, have been very lucrative, and I'm satisfied with those videos. But solely making videos like that would be extremely hard for me, and making lighter videos in between those heavier ones that take a long time to make seems a little bit more sustainable. I have a series that I'm planning on doing. that I probably won't even start until the end of next year because it's going to take a lot of planning and a lot of money. But it's something I've wanted to do for years, but it has nothing to do with what I got my viewership for. I want to do it, but since it's going to take so long and it'll probably be my main series on my channel for years, should I do it even though nobody in my audience would care? I only have a minuscule percentage of viewers in comparison to the YouTubers I look up to, and I'm sure they experience this 10 times worse than me. Obviously, if someone like Drew Gooden or Super Eyepatch Wolf were to randomly upload a daily vlog, I would be very confused. I'd still watch it. People like that are professionals, and I am not. I don't need to uphold myself to professional status when I'm only a random 19-year-old girl.
I know people don't expect this of me. I am just saying how I'm feeling, and what I'm saying to myself to counteract those feelings.
And YouTubers like that still upload other content. They have second channels where they do all of that stuff. And I kind of have a second channel set up, but I'm not really planning on using it at all, at least right now. That second channel stuff can just go on to one channel because I'm not a professional. This is just for fun. I'm not planning on uploading vlogs. That was just an example of something that would be very different than like an average commentary YouTuber stuff, which I watch a lot of commentary. But I might upload a video like this one, or just video of me trying something weird. When it comes to certain things, if it starts to get overwhelming, or if I start to feel overwhelmed or stressed, I'll stop. In regards to my mask, or my muzzle, as my best buddy Jacob refers to it, I'm keeping it on. I mentioned this ages ago in a community post, but it's just for privacy. I'm sure my audio would be better, or I'd be more presentable if I took it off, but I'm not gonna. If someone in my comments asks politely about it, I will answer for them if I see the comment, or someone could answer for me. If it's a rude comment, which I get way more often, don't bother. I prefer keeping my life and my hobbies separate. I still wanted to have a slight connection there, so I use a medical mask to give me some degree of privacy, but it still lets you know that there's like a person behind it all. I like to have a sense of control. What gets shared personally is what I choose. Hiding my face gives me a chance to keep that separation. I don't want issues or things online to seep into my personal life, and I don't want certain aspects of my personal life to seep online. If that were to shift somehow, or I felt like I was losing control, I would most likely leave the internet and move on to something else. Which is why I probably won't face reveal or make this a full-time career if I had the chance. That was unnecessarily pretentious. But honestly, so is this video. This video is getting really long, but I guess I had a lot to say. I guess a lot of stuff has been on my mind lately. Thanks for watching, and thank you all to my new subscribers. Sorry if this video is a bit of a downer towards the end. You guys are super cool, and your comments and support mean a lot, especially since my brain is kind of in emo mode right now. Thank you again, and I wish you guys many lovely days ahead. Bye!